Fall is in the air. You know what that means? It's time for pumpkin spice in the grocery store? No, it's time for barbecue. Now, when I barbecue, I have to set up everything early, and that includes this comfy lawn chair because I'm going to be out here at dark 30 in the morning, and I don't want to have to do all this at dark 30 in the morning. Now, one of the reasons we're making this video today, and the reason we did 2 pork butts instead of just 1, is we're going to do a comparison. We want to see if this barbecue blanket is going to do anything in terms of helping to rest the meat. You know, I'm told that somehow this product magically makes the meat juicier if you rest it in here versus resting it somewhere else. And I don't know about that. I'm kind of skeptical, to be honest with you. I've rested them in coolers my entire life. I've always made really good barbecue. I'm kind of what you call family famous for barbecue, and probably some other things that I shouldn't be famous for. We're going to try it out, and by the end of this video, you're going to know if it's worth investing your money in a barbecue bag. We're going to find out if it's worth your money. And if it is, I'll tell you. And if it's not, I'll tell you, because nobody sponsored this video. I got this on my own.
No, I didn't clean my smoker after the last time I used it, so now I've got to clean the ash can in it this time before I use it.
Now, normally I just throw the ashes in the yard because it makes for good soil, but we've got an extra dog with us today. My son's dog is over, and, you know, I was afraid he might eat some of that up and get sick and then bring that mess in the house. My granddog? Is it my granddog? I think it's my granddog. Yeah, I don't want any of that. I got 3 dogs of my own. They never do that. They go after the ashes, but they don't get sick. They're hardened to it. You know, they're like, with the unknown in the variable here, I didn't want to chance it. So
I'm just going to suck the ashes out with this ash vac. It's basically a shop vac that's made for ashes. It works for your fireplace or your smoker. One more thing I'm definitely setting up ahead of time is my charcoal, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a spiral, actually a double spiral stack here of charcoal. I use only B&B charcoal briquettes. I like the oak, but sometimes I use the hickory. But this is the oak. They're competition briquettes. They're a little bit larger than normal briquettes, and they have hardwood in them. They're not a lump charcoal. The reason I like the briquettes for a long smoke like this one is I like to get them as densely packed as possible. That's why I'm using the spiral as well. When you do a spiral and you can pack them densely, you can make a much longer burn. This double stack will actually burn for up to like 17 hours in my Oklahoma Joe's drum smoker. Now, when I'm done making my double spiral, this is what it'll look like. I've got a fire starter on both levels of briquettes going on the edge there, as you can see, and one that's kind of in the center, not quite in the center. And that one in the center is basically just a backup. I'm probably not even going to light it.
now, normally I make my own rubs, but I didn't want to do it for this one. And I have these. They're all good on their own, but you know I'm not using them on their own. I'm mixing them all together because why not? So the first one we have here is Hardcore Carnivore. We're going to use about half a jar of each one of these. Oh, heck with it. We're going to use all of it. We're going to use all of them. I forgot. I got 2 butts to cook. The next one is Holy Voodoo by Meat Church. This is some really good stuff. The Holy Voodoo has a little bit of a kick to it, and the others not so much. The other one I have here is also by Meat Church. It's Gospel, and there's a reason it's called Gospel. It's very good.
And the finished product is awesome.
It's the trifecta. Well, just like I said, it's about 4:30 in the morning, and we're about to start a fire for our barbecue. So now, as you can see, I just lighted that one side. I'm not going to light this. Probably not at all, but if I do, it won't be until some of this is already caught a good bit. Or if this doesn't catch at all and that burns all the way down, and for some reason the charcoal didn't catch, then I would start.
I use mustard as a binder. You could use olive oil. It really doesn't matter. It's not a flavor. You're not going to taste it. Don't get hung up on what you use as a binder, but you have to use a binder to hold the rub on.
Before you start, smack that butt. You gotta smack it. You don't really have to do that. I just like smacking butts. Oh wow, that sounded awesome, didn't it? We're just gonna
And now all we do is just liberally apply the trifecta of rubs. Hey, this is the part of the video where I tell you that if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. And of course, if you like this type of content, please hit the thumbs up because it really does help.
You know I got to do it.
Look, it's early, y'all. It's time for some coffee and Buc-ee's. I like that little beaver. Anyway, don't judge because you're going to see me do something here. I kind of talk junk about it, but I'm going to use the pumpkin spice. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm going to use the pumpkin spice. Don't judge. Just don't judge. Now I went outside to check the old fire and realized that it wasn't going too good. So I broke out the air duster here, and this thing gets it going really good, really quickly.
Both of these fit on the grate just about perfectly. We will put them in just a second. I'm going to throw a thermometer in one of them. I use this one by meter. It's connected to an app on my phone, and I can set the cook up and have that in there. And as long as I stay relatively close to my cook, it'll let me know what the temperature is. It even lets me know about 5 minutes before it's time to take it off, which is really nice. And one of the reasons you have to start this process so early in the morning is not only the cook time, but the time of preparation of your fire and everything else you need to do. As you can see, that smoke is coming out of there. It's pretty smoky looking right now, and you don't want to put your barbecue on there when your smoke is rolling like that. You want your smoke to be a lot cleaner looking, maybe bluish look. That's a process. It could take me probably another 30 minutes to an hour before I actually put the butts on the smoker. All right, what I'm about to show y'all is a super secret trick. Super secret for this Oklahoma Joe's smoker or any drum smoker that has these type vents.
Using that little air duster in the vent, I can really control the temperature. I can really bring it up in a hurry. And as you can see, now we've really got some smoke rolling through there. Temperature is just about perfect at about 250, just a little less. And the smoke is starting to clean up a little bit. It is time to go ahead and set this temperature where it is. And we do that by closing this little vent up just a bit here. And then we'll put our meat on.
You can see that smoke is much cleaner now and much bluer.
Several hours later. So once the internal temperature of the meat reaches around 160 to 165 degrees, that is what we call the stall because it'll stay there for quite a while. And at this point, I go ahead and wrap or tent the meat, which means this is the perfect time to whip up a little coleslaw or smack another butt. Through the magic of clever editing, it looks like I got away with that. I did not get away with that. And when I checked my meter, it told me it was time to check the temperature of the meat, and I did. And once I did, I realized it's time to take it off.
So what I'm going to do, going to take one of them and put it in that bag, and then I'm going to take the other one and just stick it in the oven, unwrapped it all. So in order not to get the bag totally dirty, I'm going to leave it in this container and then place it in the bag. My beautiful wife assisted me.
Like I said, I'm a little skeptical as to if this is going to do anything or not, but I can definitely see myself using this bag to carry barbecue to events, because it is well insulated and it would surely keep it warm.
And we are going to leave this bag right here until dinner time, about 2 hours from now.
And while that rests, we made some coleslaw. The recipe will be in the description.
Now I make 3 of my own sauces. There's a mustard base, a vinegar base, which is awesome, a bourbon base, which is also awesome. I'll put the recipes in the description of the video for these. I've never shared those recipes before, but I'll go ahead and share the recipes to each one of these. This one is another one that I really like, and I've tried to duplicate it, and I can't. I don't know what all they have in it, but it's Blue Hog's raspberry chipotle, and it tastes wonderful. So if you want to try something new that you haven't really tasted before, this is not like any of your traditional barbecue sauces, but it's very good, and it has just a different flavor profile. So I'm going to shred this meat, and let me tell you, if you're not using one of these to shred your meat and you're still using those claw things, you're missing the boat. This, so much faster. So what I'm doing is I'm going to shred both of these and put them in different pans, and I'm not going to tell my family which one was in which pan, and then they're going to tell me which one they liked better. So now I'm going to shred the one that was in the bag and put it in another container. I will say that in the container, it did look a little juicier. You could kind of see it on the exterior of the meat. The bark was a little juicier than the other. Still skeptical as to the taste difference, but we're going to see. I'm going to need you to try both these barbecues. Try one from each pan and tell me if you like either one better, and if you do, which one.
That's good. Oh man, that's good.
Which one did you like better?
I think I like that one better.
Okay, well, that's one vote for the juicy wrap.
And of course, I decided to let the dogs in on the action too, just in case there was a tie. I figured, well, maybe they'd break it. And no, they weren't going to break it. They didn't care. The dogs had no opinion whatsoever. They just liked the barbecue from both trays. They really had no opinion other than just give us more barbecue, which I of course did. The rest of the family though did have an opinion.
You just basically, I'm just wanting you to take a piece of each out of each container and try it, and let me know which one you think is basically which one is juicier.
Which one is juicier?
Yeah, they're both exactly the same. It was something I did afterwards.
Well, I think this one.
Oh yeah, that one's definitely juicier.
Well, boy, was I wrong. I didn't think that was going to make a difference at all. And apparently resting meat in a bag versus resting it in an oven or tinfoil or a cooler makes a difference. I really didn't think it would happen that way, and I was wrong. Shout out to, whoever made that resting bag. I'll link it in the description. Look, guys, if you buy anything from the links in the description, I do get commissions, and I appreciate it very much, but please don't feel obligated. I put those links there so that you can find the products easily if you see something in the videos that you like. I mean, everybody likes getting a little, something for the effort, but hey, don't feel obligated. If you do it, I appreciate it. If you don't, no big deal. All right, guys, I'm going to link all the stuff in the descriptions, like I said, including the recipes to the 3 different barbecue sauces that I make. Those are my own recipes that I may or may not have stolen from somebody else and doctored and called them my own. Yeah, I probably did that. But I will also link the recipe to the coleslaw, which I may or may not have stolen from somebody else and doctored it a little to make it my own. This is the one thing you do need to remember whatever you cook. The most important ingredient that you're ever going to put in your food is love. Make everything with love. That way your family and whoever you're feeding will enjoy it. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.